So good afternoon everyone, hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me in studio today. We've been live for about 5 minutes, but I wasn't sure if anybody was there. We can see you. It's a good job I wasn't picking my nose. The TV went off, then the other TVs went off, and Dave was like, oh my gosh. So yep. Let's crack on then. So welcome to the studio everyone. My name is Toni. I hope you're all well. Well, that was a little bit of a funny 5 minutes. I didn't know what to do with myself. So what we're going to do today in studio is we're going to visit our lovely layering roses and the flowers that we launched about a week and a half ago. And I wanted to wait until you'd all got them through the post. So if you did want to craft along, you'll be able to craft along today with me. So let me say hi to everyone, because thank you so much for your patience. I really don't know what happened there. So hello, Amanda, Liz, Christine, Michaela, Jackie, Jane, Mandy, Margaret, Viv, Susan, Bridget. Wow, thank you all for being patient, guys, because I thought that was going to be the end of my studio. I was like, oh. And the sad thing as well is we can't do studio tomorrow because we're having some technical issues with a few things. So we've got the men in, hopefully, the technical men in the morning. And obviously this room has to be cleaned down before they can come in, and then it has to be cleaned down when they've left for us to then come in, if that makes any sense. Also, it's really difficult to then throw a studio in and amongst it. Also, I won't be live tomorrow, unfortunately, but I'm here today, so let's make the most of today. So a couple of things I just wanted to tell you about. Just let me, I'm thinking I'm just talking to myself here, but you can see me. So a couple of things I wanted to tell you about. So I'm going to announce 2 winners today for the lovely iMala stamps that I promised I would give away. So yesterday I launched iMala over on Create and Craft, and I said all of the stamps that I used live in show, which were nearly all of them, I was going to do a giveaway. So I'm going to announce the winner of those at the end of this show. I also have the winner of my last studio. If you remember the acrylic block watercolour stamping, we have a winner for that too as well. So I'll pick 2 winners. Well, I have them here at the side of me, and I will announce them at the end. So you've got to stay tuned. I'm keeping you with me, and then I'll announce the winners. So in today's studio, we are going to use the lovely lamination trio. Now it's the ones where everything's connected together, if you remember. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do something a little bit different today and chop it up and add texture to our cards. So over the course of the last week, I've shown you probably daily lots of different background techniques you can get with acrylic blocks, elastic bands, card swiping, ink swiping technique with your ink pads. So it's time to now incorporate those with all of the stamps and dies that you use. So whether that's a full background, part background, a focal point on a card. So we'll be able to use those today. So I hope you're all well. I hope everybody's still as positive as they were a couple of weeks ago. There is light at the end of the tunnel. We are getting there. So I hope you are all well. So let's go ahead and do some lovely crafting. Before I do actually get into the crafting now, I just want to show you this product. This is the product of the week. You know, we always do a product on a Tuesday, and it's this product this week, okay? So this is a product that is about £30 normally, and it's down to £12.99, I think. So you're saving £20, something like that. So all you need to do if you're interested in this product, which is a product of the week, which is a stamp and a die. So the die cuts out itself as well, but you also get this lovely stamp. In fact, I'll show you, because I know a lot of you have bought this today, but some of you may not have even ever seen it. So let's just show you. So you get the 3 lovely arching stamps across there. Can we see those there? Really, really lovely. And then you get your coordinating dies that cut the outline out, but the dies work as entities on their own. So the dies cut out all of the details. So if you want to do white on white, the stained glass window technique that we did the other day on that other one, that works beautifully with this design. So if you are interested in that, just pop FBL into the search engine over on our website, and you will be able to see the products in there. So have we got a cup of tea or a cup of coffee? Right, hang on a minute. Stephanie just spotted a creative box in the SBM search. Stand by your beds, ladies and gents. Let me just check that. Now you're all thinking, oh my gosh, you're going to beat me to the website now. Oh, it's fun and games here at Stamps by Me. silent. Oh, lovely, Toni. Look at you all. You are all crazy. Sorry, ladies and gents. That has now disappeared. You shouldn't be seeing that. I tell you, you guys do not miss a trick. So I started studio, everything went black. Then 5 minutes in, you're telling me, hey, I've spotted something new that you shouldn't even be seeing. Cheeky. What box? What's in the box? What size is the box? Stop. Stop. I tell you. I tell you. Right, so let's craft. That's why you've come. So first of all, I'm going to use both. So if nobody's ever seen how the concept works, I'm going to use both. But first, I'm going to use some pretty, going to create some pretty backgrounds. So let's just set those aside. So I have 2 pieces of cardstock here, and I'm going to do 2 different backgrounds. So you can see one's fatter than the other. So one of the backgrounds that I'm going to do, you will have seen before. So it's the black line technique. So I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to take a alcohol marker. It doesn't have to be an alcohol marker. It can be a watercolour pen, a fine liner pen, whatever you've got in your stash. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to create sort of like an embellishment as a backdrop on this card. Now, I have done a video on this before, but I haven't done one using the products that are in the show today. So I thought it'd be a nice technique to revisit, just in case our lovely new crafters. Where's the box gone, Pat Pepper? Stop. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some thick ones, and then I'll leave a bit of a space, do a thin one, and then I'll do another thin one next to it, so we've got a sort of a gap in there. So you will see what I'm trying to achieve in a second. So we'll do this one. So just very random, just creating a pretty background here. So if you like to measure and you like everything by eye and straight, then do the measurements down the side. Keep it precise and perfect for you. I'm just going to go with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swap. I'm going to fill in some of the spaces. So I've got some thicker lines. Do this one as well. I'm just filling in those spaces with that black pen. Try and stay within the lines, because the effect is far better if you can stay within the lines. And then let's just do one more line. Do they look like they're a bit drunk? I tell you, I need to get my eyes tested. Gosh, you sent me into a state of panic. Oh, it is a... Not very straight, guys, not very straight, but it's okay. You get the idea. So just fill in this bottom one as well. And there's no way I can even straighten it up. But if obviously you're going to do it straight, measure down the left and right and join your dots to get the straight lines. So I'm happy with that background-ish. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set that one aside, and I'm going to bring in a different background this time. Let me just clean the top of our counter here. Okay, Bridget, I'll have a look after studio, sweetheart. So next background is we're just going to do some sort of watercolour burst of colour in the centre of this piece of card. Now I'm going to go, I'm just going to grab a colour, just one second. I'm going to go a honey colour. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop some onto the top of my Eureka. So we're doing 2 cards at the same time here, ladies and gents. So let's pop this onto the top of our Eureka. And let's give it a spritz with some water. And let's get some detail in the card here. And I'm just picking up that ink. I think the internet's had problems throughout the country though. Lots of supermarkets having problems with cash machines and things like that, so you know, don't worry about it. I don't think it's anything to do with your home. I've just had difficulty, and we allegedly have the best internet in the world in this building, so you know. I'm just getting that swoosh of colour, and I've gone for a honey colour. I've got that lovely background there. So let's just move this aside. What I am going to do though is I'm just going to add a pool here, and I'm just going to add some splats. Just get my clean brush. We'll add some splats too, because although they pretty much disappear to nothing, they always add a little bit more texture. And as you can see, they're pretty much disappearing there. Not really. You can see lines of my Eureka in there too. I'm just going to add a darker colour as well. Just clean that one off. And that one I'm using Mermaid Lagoon. There we go. Leave it be. Step away from the splat. There we go. So let's move those to one side. So we have our striped background, which is, you know what, we need to tidy that up a little bit, don't we? So I'm crafting on the go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the background look like I intended it to be wonky. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the shape. I'm just going to add some lines this way, so it looks like it was meant to be on the wonk. Okay. If anybody asks, it was. And then my eye's drawn away from, is it straight or is it not? I'm going to fill this one in. There we go. So it's taken your eye away from what was meant to be straight, and it's now made it look like it was meant to be wonky. Okay, so let's set these aside to let them just dry naturally. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp out one of these. We'll stamp them both out actually, if that's okay. So let's just grab some cardstock. So if you didn't manage to catch the shows or you have these at home, have you been playing with them? Have you had them out and played with them? Please let me know. And if so, what colour combos have you all been doing? Because there is endless colour combinations, and I'm going to show you a few cool ones right now. Some ones that we haven't done or touched on yet. So solid portion. So when you get these home, they are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2 and 3, and then you get your cover plate die, which cuts them all out at the same time. So let's go ahead. So first of all, I'd like a really bright red rose. Okay, so I'm going to start out with festive berries. So if you are crafting along, this is the colour I'm starting with. Okay, so I'm going to ink up that flower on both of them, and then for my leaves I'm going to go brown. So I'm just going to take a brown which is gathered twigs, cover those leaves, I'm just going to give it a spritz with some water, and then we'll stamp it out. And don't worry if it doesn't all look like a watercolour. If you get texture, it looks really, really cool. So just give that card a chance to drink that ink. So there we have layer one. Really, really easy. Okay, it's not perfect. That's just the way that I like it. But it is personal preference. If you want a more clean line, maybe don't spray. Or if you want it more solid, continue again on the same stamp and do the same process twice and you'll get a more fluid look. But I do like this look. So then that's stamp one. Pop that away. Set on the back there. Then we have stamp set 2, which is in the same set. Okay, all connected, so we don't have the fuss or the mess. And this time I'm going to use aged mahogany. Okay, so I'll just pick aged mahogany on the flower and black on the leaves. So let's ink up our flower, and then black on the leaves. And then give this a little spray. I'd like that red to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to go in with the same red. I'm happy with the black ones though. I'm going to go in with the same red and push down without spraying this time, just so I get that depth of colour. I'm going to do it one more time, try and get it as dark as I can. And there we go, so there's our second layer. And then let's clean our second stamp. So let's swap this one out for the last one. Now on this last one, I'm only going to use the flower head. I don't want to use the leaves, and that's the great part about them. I'm going to just use the flower head on the third one because I'm happy with those black and brown leaves. I don't want any more detail in there, but it is personal preference. And do experiment when you get them home with, without, heat emboss, because it just looks absolutely incredible. Oops, silly me. Don't I always do that? And then pop it back on, line it back up. So we're going for the roses this time. And this time I'm going to go black, and that's going to give me like the burgundy colour in the flowers. Now you can spray with water first time if you want to, if you're a bit scared thinking, oh my gosh, it's black, is it going to work? And I will spray first to show you. And then you get this sort of lovely dark area in there. So let's set this one aside. I'm going to die cut them at the same time, and just remember the plate goes over the top and cuts them all in the same time. And I'm going to do it. I'm just going to let them naturally dry, and I'm going to move on to the other set too, because I appreciate probably most of you bought them in a bundle. So I want to take the time to show you both. Now that's how you get a really realistic red rose, okay? Incorporate that black on top of the red and it gives you a really deep burgundy, which is cool. So let's just set that aside. So that's the plates that we're going to pop over it in a second and cut them all out at the same time. Let's grab the second one. So for this one, exactly the same concept, okay? I'm sorry if you've seen this 1,000 times, but there are new viewers all the time. But the cards at the end are probably something you'll probably be able to skip to. Mute me at any point if I'm boring you. And maybe just copy right at the end rather than this part if it's something you've seen before. Right, so stamp one, they are numbered, remember. So this time we're going to go blue and yellow, because I don't think we've done this combo before. And on telly, on TV, I tried to stick to all the common colours of flowers, whereas when we're in our own studio, we can do as we please. Tea or coffee, everybody? Has everybody got one? Right, so I'm going to go yellow on the base of the flower. I just missed a question there. If anybody has got questions and it doesn't get answered on here, just go to the Eureka fan page and our design team or myself or one of our avid followers who follow us will be able to help you. Many people ask lots of questions on there, and a lot of the customers are able to answer the questions as well. So have the courage to go and pop your question on there. And always remember, every question is not a silly question. I don't want to ask it's a silly question. It's not a silly question if you don't know, okay? So have the courage to ask the question. Never going to put it right if we don't get the answer. So I've gone green on the leaves on this one. I'm just going to give this a spritz. So you can see how this yellow one is going to be gorgeous on this one. I'm sorry about the squeaky Eureka. So that's stamp one. Let's remove stamp one. And swap it out for stamp two. Now I'm going to use all the layers on this one because it's really pretty. So stamp two. Exactly on the top, look, just line it up, make sure it fits within. If you don't line it up exact, it isn't the end of the world. Stick your head over, yeah, that's fine. This time I'm going to go like a tealy colour, this one here, so evergreen bow for this one, or bow, some of you may say it. Oh, question, they said they couldn't line up the die plate correctly. Well, the way that I do it is I'd always look over, okay, and just make sure when you look over you can see all of the image through the plate, and you should be able to get it right. It does give you that 1mm border, so I think as long as you can see the image, you're going to get pretty much an even cut every single time. So let's swap out for this one, a darker green on here. And then I'll show you when I come to do mine, if it helps. So I'll give this a bit of a spritz. Let's get this second layer of colour down. So you can see that evergreen bow. And when you lift it up, you can see our design starting to come together already, looking quite cool already. So let's get rid of stamp number 2. That's stamp number 2, and then the last one we're going to add that pop of dark colour, so I'm going to go navy on the last one. So I always work light to dark, but it's personal preference again. Now just line it up. When you think you've got it all in, which I'm quite happy with that one, I think we'll go with that. Make sure my door's dry. And then I'm going to go blueprint sketch, dark blue. And for the leaves, I'm not sure, I've not really got a dark green, I'm struggling now. Let's go back to evergreen bow on this one. As long as it gives me a touch of dimension or texture, all that matters. So let's give this a little spray and see what it looks like. Tina's saying, asking, will you be bringing more of these? Yes, we are. We're bringing more of these. Do you like them? I know, Tina, I've seen a lot of your makes, sweetheart, over on Instagram as well. Well done. So there we go. We've got our lovely yellow and green spritz design there. So let's move this out of the way and let's show you how we die cut them all. In fact, is Tina still on? Tina, have you any tips for the lady that was asking about getting her plate lined up perfectly. I mean, I know you get the 1mm border, but have you got any tips that would help that lady? I'm going to show now how I do it, but I think I've seen a lot of cards with you using that. Have you got any tips too? That'd be nice. So let's tidy our station a little bit. Let's get rid of our Eureka and let's bring in our die cutting plate. So let's cut the red ones first because they should be dry now. So the way that I do it is, oops, excuse me, I just pop it all on my mat. I have a piece of tape already on from every time I use. Then I pop it on, and all I do is, sorry about the head, is I lean over and I press the plate down until I'm happy that it all looks even. Now I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go there. Can you just pop that back up? Thank you. Can we see that there? So it doesn't look like you've got a white edge, so just make sure that the image is captured in that recess of that die and you should be okay. Okay. If you cut it and it's a little bit off, you can always trim the white off that you've gone too far maybe, but you should be okay, I would suggest. Tracy's given a great tip. I think I missed that one. So let's show you how mine's come out. So you can see here, I'll just pop mine out. Just lift that one up and get rid of those two pieces. So you can see there, can we see there? So as long as that picture is within these holes in here, you should be absolutely fine, okay? Try your best to get them in the hole. Daisies, Christine, can you read my mind? Hey, hey, hey. So let's get rid of the rows. Let's pop these to one side. And then let's cut these yellow ones we've done. So we have our yellow one here. It's quite dry, we should get away with it. So as you can see, again, I'm just going to pop the plate over. I'll pull it down so I can see, and then all I do is I pop it round and I'll twist until, sorry about the head, I'm just going to lean in, and then when I've got my hair in place like so, I'm going to go there, hopefully, and then we will run this one through. Tina, I haven't tried sprays, I haven't tried them, but Pearly Winks has told me that they're incredible with the sprays, so butterflies, great idea. I've not done butterflies. And then when we pop out all of our detail, look what happens. And you can see there, look, I'll show you. I didn't actually get it quite right there, look. Can we see how we've got a little bit of a thicker edge on one side? But it's not a great shake. It isn't absolutely a great shake. If you're not happy with it and you're thinking, oh, hold that, and I'm not happy with it, just take a blending tool and the same colour that you've done in the yellow, just blend some yellow around the edges and it'll take your eye away from that harsh white, okay? So that's basically the concept of those lovely kits. They are a considered purchase, I will be honest with you, but you do get 3 A5 stamp sets and the cover plate all in one packet. And I believe they are really, really worth it. You will use them a lot, I think, just simply because they're so easy to use. You're not lining A with B and B with Z and which bit goes with which and which outline goes round. It's just 3 passes and you're absolutely done. 4 passes with the die cut plate. So shall we create a lovely card here? So let's just dry this off because it's still got that awful bump in there. Daisies and butterflies. I'm just taking the damp out of here, that's all. Now we're going to do 2 cards at the same time, remember? So shall we create them at the same time? Okay, let's go for it. So let's just grab our card blanks. So for this card blank with the yellow flower, I'm going to go grey panel, okay. And all the bits that I don't use in my flowers, look here, I've got my lovely dish. And you can see I've got all of the odds and sods flowers that I haven't used. And I just can dig them out and make a quick card whenever I'm ready. You know, don't throw them away just because you haven't used them. They're always going to be there to use, aren't they? So I know you have to cut them all at the same time and do them all at the same time, even if you really want to leave. But if you've got them in a dish ready to go, you will use them. And if somebody comes for a card really quickly, you've got them, haven't you, made? So let's adhere this to the back of our white card. So just put that panel in the centre there, right to the top. And then we've got this piece here. This glue doesn't want to play ball today. Let's swap the glue. Got lots of glue on it now, too much. Hey ho, so I'll just pop this into the centre here, and I should get a nice give it a second to grab. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in my plates here, just to so it doesn't move. And then let's move on to our second card while that's sticking nicely under there, hopefully. So I have a nice white card blank here. Carnations, good idea. And then we have our lovely background, which we decided to make it look like we had purposely created a wonky background. Let's just check on that background. I'm just going to push that over there. I'm just going to bring this back in. I'm just going to add some more lines with my fine tip. So, and there's no harm in you keeping going with adding the lines. It's just going to be a background. Just want to balance it a little bit better. So I'm just going to colour that one in. Like a stencil now. Totally defeats my object. But anyway. Yeah, let's go this way. So in our flower we have the lovely red, so I'm going to add some red splats to the back of here. So quickly, once you've done that splat background, it actually comes together really, really quickly. So I'm just going to take some of the red here. Just going to add a little bit, albeit you're probably not going to see most. You're not going to see most of this striped background actually in a second. So I'll just add these splats around. And then we'll just give this a quick blast off. So our embossing folders have arrived in the building. We have a creative box as well, which has arrived. So I'll give you more information on that very, very soon. So let's get this onto our card blank. So let's just move that out of the way. That's okay. I can live with that. It seems to have grabbed nicely. So always put your artwork under something to, to get rid of those lumps and bumps. I am just working on normal cardstock, so I will get lumps and bumps. So let's get this one onto our card. So no border on this one, absolutely no light colour or anything. It's absolutely going to speak for itself, is the background. So this background's going onto here. I'll just give that a second to grab. So we have our lovely two backgrounds there. So white on white with the black lines and then the yellow on there. So we've got our lovely two cards. So ahead of time, this one is, let me just grab it. The birthday mandala, which probably a lot of you did buy as well. This is the one where you can take it in the page or out of the page. It doesn't really matter. Put the outline around if you want to. You can see there. So what I'm going to do is, ahead of time, I've cut 3 and stuck them together so I have an embellishment. It's quite thick, okay? So if to put pads underneath there, it would look pretty ugly, wouldn't it? So stick a few together and create that embellishment. Then when you pop it on your card, look what happens. Looks really, really pretty with that design behind there. So for this one, I wanted it to be a little bit different, and I cut the outline as well. Now the outline is precise, so you don't get a border around, which is cool. So it looks nice if you set it like so. But what I realised today was if you twist it slightly like that, you get a sort of a different dimensional look. Look at that, and that looks quite creative, I think, don't you? Let's just see what it looks like if it's solid. So we can have it solid. I think solid looks nice, but don't forget, if you have this at home, you can twist that design and get that sort of flower effect under there as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this flat on top. So this one hasn't got a back piece and this one has. I'll give that a second to grab. So you can see now where this card is absolutely going, can't you? So we've hidden most of our ugly sort of wonky lines now, but I've sort of made them look better with those like flashes of lines coming out the bottom as well. So if you do a wonky card, just make it look like it's meant to be with the dimension under there. So now's the time to be creative. So ahead of time, all I did was I cut the same colour flowers. So these are the ones that we've just cut here in my right hand, and these are the ones in my left hand that I did before coming to wear. So I have a whole bunch of yellow ones and I have a whole bunch of red ones and brown ones. So let's create something quite pretty, hey? So on this yellow one, you're going to be able to see through. Okay, so let's have some fun. So I always place before I commit to anything at all. So I've got a piece, this white panel down here is going to lend itself beautifully to the overhang of the green. And you can mix the designs. These leaves work equally as well with those leaves. So I'm going to go higher and I'm going to pop an embellishment just around here. So I don't want to hide that nice mandala in the background there. So try not to overwhelm thinking, oh, I've cut all those pieces, I've now got to use them. You really haven't. There we go there. So let's just leave that to one side for now, and maybe we can revisit it and then let's have a look at our red one. So I'm going to stick a pad right in the centre of this one, and I'm going to elevate this design. So the one with the full back, we can get away with adding pads. So some pads behind here, and then we'll stick this one in the centre here. A little bit higher, you know I don't like symmetrical, so there we go, stick it there, look like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do some tuck-ins behind. Can we see that there? You can see now how it's sort of coming together. And that black in the brown is going to enhance that sort of line design there. I just play first. I think we'll go with that one. What do you think? It'll look better when I stick it. Do you think it's going to come together like that? I love that one. The colours are gorgeous. Love these, Toni. Okay, let's go with, so let's start to put them together very quickly then. So just remember how that was. So I'm just going to pop some glue behind this one. This one's going to go flat, but remember it's still got that 3D element to it because I've got 3. It's hard. It's like an MDF shape now because I've done it 3 times and stuck it together. So I'm just going to pop this one on. So try not to overwhelm. It's really easy to, you know, start adding things thinking, oh, like I just did there, this one still looks a little bit heavy to me. I will condense it down, I think, but you know. And you can, of course, lay leaves on top of leaves so it just pushes them back a little bit. So don't, you know, don't be scared to push artwork back. Yep, that's how I'm going to go. I think we'll leave that there. Don't faff. Don't faff. So I have Happy Birthday from the mandala set in white, and I cut it twice. Now let's just see if it's going to look nice first. Now if I put that in the centre of there, it's going to completely get lost, isn't it? So I think in fact I'm not going to pop a sentiment on it. I'll do a smaller sentiment because that's not working, it's getting lost. So let's build this one together then, very, very simply. Let's just sort of make this a little less busier by swapping out the leaf for some of the singles. Right, let's just go with that. Let's go, go, go. Before I change my mind. So you can see now how those pretty leaf designs, pretty leaf lines look quite cool now, hey? So what was sort of a little bit of a nightmare has turned into something that's actually looks okay. I'll just leave that a second to grab. And I'm going on top of the mandala at this side. That is too big. It's not like me not to use the big ones. to grab. And then I have stamped Beautiful here and cut it out, and I'm just going to pop this at the base here. And then I will save all of those lovely stuff, because I could make another card actually. Make sure that's grabbed. So we have this lovely one here. I'm just going to add some sparkles very, very quickly. So I've got some new sparkles, which are like a iridescent sort of, and they're so sparkly. Let's pop some sparkles around. So if you can, work in threes. And there's lots of sizes in these, which is cool. It's all gone quiet. So let's shall I pop some on this one too, and then I'll hold them up for you. I'll put one on the leafers there as well, because they look nice on your artwork too. We'll just have 3 on that one. Don't want to overdo it. There we go. Put these back in my bag. So I have no idea what the time is. If it's taken a long studio, I'm sorry to have kept you if you have things to do. But, you know, I'll just pop these in my little dish, ready for another card. So everything's stuck, I think, and I think I'm ready to showcase all the way. So here we go. So there's one, and here is another. Let me just get rid of these awful pieces of cardstock at the front. Oh, sparkles. Sparkles are in the box, guys. Sparkles are in the box, so stand by. I will show you this week. So I'm just moving out of the way so we can get that lovely picture. There we go. So what's your thoughts on those ones? Two very similar products, but totally different. In the same, you've got your idea that you've got the smooching, then you've got the abstracted lines in the background. But if you do go skew width, you can sort of capture it and make it look like it was meant to be that way. So which is your best? Which do you like? I actually love the yellow one, but that's just me. Red's a given, isn't it? Everybody loves red. So I'll take a pretty picture of these and I will post it over on Facebook. Don't forget, there is no studio tomorrow, but if you would be as kind as to pop a comment under this video when we've finished going live, that would be appreciated. Just about in general about the show. Did you enjoy the show? So let's announce the winners. So the winner of these two from the acrylic block stamping show that we did, so it was these two lovely silhouette stamps. Okay, let me just find the lady's name. Thank you for staying tuned, everybody. So the lady's name is Trudy Unsworth. So I don't know if Trudy's on. Pardon me if you have been on and I've missed you, sweetheart. But Trudy Unsworth is the winner of these two lovely stamp sets. So if you message us at info@Stamps by Me, or if you want to personal message me on my Facebook page, Stamps by Me, I will find you and get those out to you. So well done, Trudy, for those. And then the person who's won this whole bunch of stuff, which is all the stamps that I used on TV. I think I used 8 on TV or 7, I'm not sure. But it's a full bunch of the iMarla stamps that I used yesterday on TV. And the winner of this one is Carolyn Howell. Carolyn, I hope you're well. If you are, if you have watched, brilliant. PM me your address, please, or info@stampsbyme.co.uk, and we will get these sent out to you. So you have just won 7 or 8 iMala stamps there, sweetheart. Well done. So I hope everybody's well. I'm not with you tomorrow, so I know it's scheduled to be with you, but we are having some maintenance done in this room to make us better. We always want to be better. So whatever you're doing, stay safe, stay cozy, and I'll see you Thursday. Is it Monday today? Monday today. Tuesday today. Tuesday today. Not with you tomorrow. So Thursday, Claire will be on at 1 o'clock, but I'm going to come on at 3 o'clock because I want to show you some new goodies on Thursday at 3 o'clock, if that's okay. So I'll see you all then. Have a lovely day, lovely evening. Take care, everyone. Bye.